Live here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. I'm doing another intro just because it upset you last time that I
It
didn't
did.
just start
It's
right on the fly.
like you just like press the button to begin recording without like mentioning anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I like to do to everybody. The best interviews are unprepared, where you don't realize you're even being interviewed or anybody's talking. So we're here at
So
Streets on Carson, though. It's beautiful. Look at that background. Usually I blur my camera, but I didn't even blur the camera for this one because it looks so awesome behind me.
you do have a pretty sick background, man. It's my favorite background so far. It's
It is
with the
undisputed. We're going.
the Hidden Gems series. Like there's a competition with the food, but then like there's really been no competition with the background because I mean we got it right now.
Streets on Carson, pound for pound, best background in the Hidden Gems series for sure. No, yeah, they win our white belt. We'll even give them a pro belt for the background. It's that good. And the beautiful South Side, which I don't know if anybody's ever described South Side as beautiful, but here we are.
I mean, Southside's here. I don't know about beautiful, but it exists.
TJ Timbo Moore is also here, Ryan. You
He's
gotta
in
love
the.
we in here. We gotta love Timbo showing up, man. Dude, Timbo showed off a progress pick the other day. He's been getting after it hard, man, on the heavy bag. I see him boxing a lot, training a lot, running. My man's getting in shape. He's looking ready, but he might be fighting for us soon, dude.
Hey, man, this is just so everyone's aware. This is we've been doing this on location stuff for a while now, but this is our loudest environment. Um, it's a little bit distracting, so we're gonna try to mute our when we're not talking.
Are you
When we're not talking, we're gonna try
nice?
to mute and so that you guys can hear hopefully Khama very well. Khama should be joining us in about 10 minutes or so.
I was gonna
Um,
say I thought we were keeping that a secret, but then I realized I put it in the title of the video and we announced it ahead of time and everything. I was like, maybe we'll just tag Kama in and let it be like, oh, Kama's here. But we
yeah, no,
totally,
there was
yeah,
no
we
surprise factor here.
no, zero surprises, but it's cool, man. I'm glad there are some people showing up. We're gonna like Ryan just said, Kama's gonna be here shortly, but it's gonna be an awesome show. We're excited. We're less than a week away, man. It feels insane that the freaking fight is here. Coming up Saturday, April 16th in Monroeville. It's gonna be a great show.
I'm pretty stoked. It's weird. Like every show we have, it's like you get like 8 weeks out, 7 weeks out, six, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's this week, and it happens every time. It's like, wow, we're really having a show in like 6 days.
Yeah, I mean it's
We should
Sunday now, so it's technically fight week. It is legitimately fight week right now.
we
So
should figure out what we're gonna do for the show at this point. I would say we should like order tickets and stuff.
do we have any fighters? Are there any fights?
I mean, I think there's a guy that knows a guy that like I don't know. There's some people I've talked to that are like, I'll fight.
That's all you need. Guys who
Yeah.
like are willing, like that kid at Big Rigs. There was a kid at Big Rigs barbecue working there. Looked like he was about
We
15
asked,
years old. Yeah.
yeah, we asked him what he weighed. We're like, you can fill in. Like, that's good.
I mean, he said he weighed 135. So I'm just saying, if Justin or Devin need a replacement opponent last minute, we got our guy.
He works it. He's like, I have never trained. I'm like, that's. I mean, hey, sometimes you got to learn the hard way.
Just get thrown right to the wolves. You're fighting Justin Patton on April 16th, kid at Big Rigs.
You got to learn. If you don't, you just sometimes you just got to jump in the pool to learn how to swim, bro. Like this is how we roll.
It's super true, man. Got Mayhem MMA tagging in now saying they're excited. We are excited for you guys too, man. I'm going to assume that's their head coach and owner, Sean Hartle, tagging in, man. It's nice to hear from you. And we're excited to see what your guys can do, man. I wrote that blog post, and that was all true. The more blood in the Pittsburgh fight scene we can get, that's good for the scene, man. We're trying to grow the combat sports scene here in Pittsburgh and eventually beyond. it all starts here. So guys like you stepping up and doing it, massive respect, and we're excited to have you too. But we got a guy in the waiting room right now, Ryan. I don't know. He looks like he's cutting weight. Might be crabby or something. I don't want to keep this guy waiting too long, I don't think. Ryan's still muted. You see that, Khama? Ryan had muted himself and tried to. That's how pro he is.
How's it going, Khama?
It's going good. Can't
Killmonger.
complain. You know, it's fight week. Trying to get tickets to people and shit. You know, all that fun stuff.
So for our audiences that are our G audiences, we didn't put the disclaimer out, but consider this the disclaimer. This is not a G-rated program. This is going to be.
This is R-rated. Actually, this is XXX rated. I might not have any pants on when I tilt the camera down. You never know.
We are streaming live on OnlyFans right now. So. That's beautiful, dude. But Khama, I'm glad you started by talking about tickets, man, because this is one thing I've wanted to ask you this for a long time, because it seems like we talk about kind of the old guard of Pittsburgh MMA a lot. The guys like you, Cherico, Milstead, that crowd that kind of started everything in Pittsburgh. It seemed like you guys understand ticket sales on a different level. You know, on the business side, that's a huge part of the business, having fighters that know how to sell tickets. You're obviously one of the best that there's ever been. What is it?
I suck at selling tickets. Why are you lying? Aren't you lying? I suck at selling tickets.
Well, I mean, I don't know. What I've seen wouldn't indicate suckage at selling tickets, but what is it like? What is it when you go in and you're selling tickets? Like, what's your approach? What's the Khama Worthy guide to selling tickets in MMA?
This is going to be a fight.
I just straight out. I was like, yo, stop being an asshole. Come see me fight. Support your friend. What the fuck? Stuff like that. You know. What else you could be doing? Sitting around, being bored, out drinking. Come watch fights first. I don't really kiss people's ass to come watch fights. I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna kiss your butt to come watch the fight. But then don't, like, especially like after when I made the UFC, everyone like, oh yeah. I'm like, well, you had your fucking opportunity. I was fighting in Pittsburgh for years and you never came to see me, and now you're like, oh, this. I'm like, so now I'm like, you get another opportunity. Look, I'm like, I'm back here, so shit. But it's still the same stuff.
That's funny, because I saw, Mark, when Cherico was on the podcast, he would say that he would just bump into random people at like Giant Eagle, and if they started talking, he'd be like, hey, by the way, I'm fighting, and like just force them to buy tickets off him, like wherever he goes.
I see Mark doing that.
He's not exactly the shyest guy ever, right?
No, not total opposite.
That's great, dude. So, I mean, how you feeling? We saw you, the other day. When was that? Friday at the academy. You got a little sweat going, starting to look like the weight cut's starting. You're how many fights? 26 fights deep in your pro career. Does cutting weight still absolutely suck?
Yeah. I hate it. There's nothing fun about cutting weight. Like, it's just not fun. I still don't like it. I don't think there's anyone that ever likes cutting weight. No one ever goes, oh, yeah, man. Cutting weight's the best thing ever. Oh man, I can't wait to cut weight. No, I mean, I've gotten much better at it. I understand it, but no, I hate it.
That's very fair.
Just to kind of chime in, hey, listeners, anyone who's listening or watching the podcast, feel free to ask Khama any questions. He's Khama's probably eating candy now. I don't know.
Who the fuck is that?
That's Steve. Talk time.
Hey, look, talk time. I did. I trained with my coach today, and I got some annihilators afterwards. But I actually cut back. I actually don't do the candy anymore and stuff. So yeah, Steve. Shit.
It's that veteran wisdom. No more candy.
I used to eat a lot. To make 45, I used to like survive off of candy for 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, okay, I used to cut so much weight.
How does that work? How does eating candy help you make a lower weight? I'm confused by that.
And I would like survive off of like 2 cases of annihilators a day.
Rank
I get energy from the sugar, and I wouldn't get hungry and stuff.
That's amazing. Hear that, kids? If you want to make weight, if you want to drop weight, survive off candy. Khama Worthy approved.
We've already established we do not want kids listening to this episode.
Dude, rank your top 3 candies. Top 3 Khama Worthy candies.
Like the mystery flavor, Airheads,
Death Star now and laters.
Butterfingers. I like Butterfinger and bottle caps. I like bottle caps.
Wow, that's a strong play. The root beer ones.
Flavor bottle cap tastes just like root beer, so it's a great.
Good. That's a strong play, dude. Bottle caps. That's a throwback. I love that.
I didn't even know that was an option for a favorite candy. Like
bottle caps are delicious. They're like chalky, but like when you're cutting weight, it makes your mouth like make it feel like you're drinking soda and shit.
That kind of makes sense, actually. I get that a little bit. You got to simulate the experience, yeah.
Yeah.
So you had some work you did today. Tell us about your day today.
I woke up, had my morning wood going on, and then
Austin, Logan, Caden, go to bed.
No, I mean I worked out with my coach Dan, aka Master Wi-Fi. We woke up. We did I put like my sauna suit on. I prefer doing that instead of like sitting in the sauna and stuff or whatever. So I put my sauna suit on because I'm still like drinking a lot of water. But when you drink that much water, you have to sweat. Like you have to sweat off. You can't just keep drinking a lot of water like not working. So I have to move. So we worked out. We did like good 6 rounds. I put my sauna suit on. We worked. I'll cut like 5 or 6 pounds doing that. And then I just went home. The kids, Nicole were here. I'm running around doing stuff. And then I went back to the sauna because I just want to get used to like getting hot a little bit. Because I don't want to I don't like to go into the sauna unless I'm cutting weight. Like I don't go into the sauna unless I'm cutting weight, but you got to get your body used to being that hot. So you can't just be like, okay, it's time to go cut weight and just jump in the sauna. Your body would be like, nah, fuck you, that's not working. So I like to start hitting the sauna up every day on Sunday. So that way, by the time it gets around the Thursday and Friday, my body's used to that extreme heat.
That seems like a logical progression. I like that. I never knew that like you had to condition your body to the heat, but that makes a lot of sense, I think. Yeah, nice. Dude, I got to ask, I mean, it's funny. We haven't really talked to you about this at all, but like the matchup itself against Kaheem Murray, this dude's a stud. We're excited for the matchup in general. What is it about his fighting style or him that gets you excited? Like, what do you see when you watch his tape?
I don't know. I mean, he's a solid fighter. He's definitely a solid fighter. He's long. He's athletic. He's fast. But he's just he reminds me of a Khama Worthy from like 7 years ago. I mean,
so he is a complete stud.
Yeah, right. I mean, like he's.
Oh no!
Khama bites the dust.
Khama just tapped out.
He got edited. He was about to start swearing. He was about to take it past X rated.
Kaheem Murray hacked the stream, tapped him out.
There it goes.
There, he's back. He's back.
Yeah. My daughter threw my phone and cracked it, so I have to hold it all weird and stuff. So I think my finger slid off. Nice. No, but I mean, like, he's a good fighter. He's fought on big shows, so he'll be comfortable for that. But I gotta say, it's fighting, so fighting's always dangerous. But there's just levels to this. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sound like arrogant at all, because again, I said, I know what fighting is. But if you think like I know, I saw him and say like, he fought Kimbo Slice Jr. and he was like, yeah, I've I'm like, but there's like jumping levels. This is like, I mean, again, it's a great opportunity for him. But if the Steelers called me up tomorrow and said they wanted me to play running back, that'd be a great opportunity for me. But I'm probably going to get fucked up. It's just the way it is. You know, it's a great opportunity for me to get fucking folded in half. So, but it's still a great opportunity. So I mean, like, I get. I get it. Like that's. I mean, on the local scene, those are the fights I'm going to get. It's people looking to get great opportunities, and I just have to just let them understand it. It's not a great opportunity. It's more like a funeral. Like, you know, it's a bad. It's a good and a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of both. You can't pass it up.
So Hunter, we're at the 15:45 mark. Remember that mark for that soundbite?
Yeah, that was solid. That was solid. And I got to say, it's right on theme because your last fight against Jeremiah Scott, February 5th, you know, obviously we're sitting cage side. After you finish him, I see you going like this in the cage and you're saying, you know, there's levels to this. That was kind of your theme for that fight as well. So how do you stay motivated through that, man? Because a part of you, you know, there's levels to this and you feel that you're a level above. Is it just the fact that it's a fight and anything can happen and that's dangerous enough for you? Like, how are you staying motivated going into a fight?
Oh yeah, I mean, like there's a fight. I can go in there and he can drop me with a cross. You know what I mean? Like the jump. This is definitely a fight. I'm not saying at all. I mean, but I can also wake up tomorrow and an armored truck can flip over and $1 million can fall over and I can pick it up. That can happen too, but it's probably fucking not. Like it's just. I don't know. I always tell my students, like, I think in Pittsburgh MMA or local MMA in general, we have a small understanding of what high level stuff is. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to sound like people like just to like make sound people say they don't get it, but it's like, dude, there's levels, next level. It doesn't mean like I don't get subbed or I might get lit up one day sparring or something like that. Like I get subbed all the time, you know what I mean? Like, but when it comes to fighting, there's different mental aspects and physical aspects that you're going to need to get shit done. And I don't think people quite understand what it is. Now I get for him, he's like, oh, I beat Kimbo Slice Jr. though. I'm like, but I mean, no disrespect to Kimbo Slice Jr., but that motherfucker's not anywhere near my radar. Like, I don't think Kimbo Slice Jr. would make it on the local scene here in Pittsburgh. Like, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure my man Goss would light him up. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think he's like, oh shit, Kimbo Slice Jr. Oh, shit. Like, nah, sorry. I mean, like, I get it. He was a name, but like, who did he beat? Like, who did he fight? Like, I mean, it's okay if Bellator like takes people and they give them people for them to beat. That's cool, and they built their name up. But it's like, let's be realistic. Like, who the hell are you fighting? Like, who are you competing? Like, who are you competing against and stuff? So, but I mean, you got to take it for what it is. You don't really know how deep the water is until you get out there, and then you start drowning, I guess you can say.
Khama, do you know you have a history with him, that you've actually wrapped his hands before? Little tidbit, huh?
What was you, an amateur fighter or something?
Yeah, when he was an amateur, he fought for Gladiators in Pittsburgh, and he said you wrapped his hands like back in the day. So he's been like following your career for a long time.
Oh yeah, I'm not an asshole. So he probably, if he needed somebody to wrap his hands, like I said, I don't dislike the guy. I mean, to a certain degree, I don't dislike him as a person, but as a fighter, if you say you're going to fight me, that means you find flaws in my style, which means you think you can beat me. So I don't dislike you, but I have to hurt you extremely bad. But I don't dislike him. I mean, like, I don't dislike anyone but Potato Head Azatar Alaman because he does steroids and shit. Besides that, I never dislike any opponent.
So talk to me. that brings up a funny subject. So after Azatar or Ottoman, whatever his name is,
Potato Head.
Wasn't there like a bunch of like you were out at the pool and Chris or something was out at the pool? Tell us that story. Give us that behind the scenes.
Yeah, but we were getting ready for the Malarkey fight, and his brother was fighting that night, and he was like talking shit or something, and I was tired. I was like cutting weight, and then he was like saying some shit like whatever, blah. And I was like, oh dude, you was cheating. Your brother got caught cheating. You was cheating. Y'all be snorting potatoes and stuff or whatever. Y'all be sticking needles in each other's butts and shit. Whatever the fuck y'all be doing. Like that's what they be doing. Like I mean, like shit. I mean, I get it. Shit. Like everybody's getting caught cheating all over the place. But he was all mad. He like, what was in the bag? He goes, oh, it's none of your business. I'm like, dog, it was steroids or clean blood or clean pee. Just say it. Like everyone's cheating. Like John Jones did it. Freaking that's why I like TJ Dillashaw. He came out and just said, I was cheating, bitches. Shit, I wanted to win. Like, yeah, like, just tell the truth. Let motherfuckers know what you're willing to do. Like, you're willing to cheat to win. That's just the way it is.
The Chael Sonnen, I think, had the best reaction when he got caught. He was like, yeah, I was more juiced up than Tropicana. Like, yeah, I was.
Like, it is what it is. Like, I mean, like, don't be like, nah, I can hide stuff. Like, no, you're cheating, dude. But it's whatever.
Well, I like when Chael, when he said, I was only 3 times the normal testosterone limit. That was a bad day for me, man. I'm all man.
He leaned into it better than anybody in history. TJ did do a good job too. You're right. When it came out, TJ was like, "Yeah, I wanted to win fights. Obviously, I was going to take steroids."
I mean, it is what it is.
But hey, for all the kids out there, don't eat candy and don't do steroids. That's not what we're saying.
Unless it's bottle caps.
Yeah, bottle cap steroids.
So go ahead, Ryan. Take it away.
Khama, you were talking about the MMA scene, the Pittsburgh MMA scene. What are your thoughts? Like you've been to like probably, if not all of our shows, most of them. What do you think about the Pittsburgh MMA scene, where it's going, where it's come from, how the attendance look? I mean, I don't know if you spent time, after your win and looked around and saw the crowd, but it was pretty impressive. So, what are your thoughts on like the growth of the sport again and kind of reaching new levels of crowds and crowd sizes and all that stuff?
I mean, as for Pittsburgh and MMA, I think it is what it is. Like, I say that with like I tell my students all the time, I'm like, act local, think global when it comes to the sport. Because you can't get caught up in the Pittsburgh being the coolest fucking dude in Pittsburgh. I never wanted to be the coolest dude in Pittsburgh. Like that to me, that's like the worst thing you can ever call me. It's like, oh, you're the best guy in Pittsburgh. Who the fuck wants to be that? I mean, unfortunately, that's a lot of thing in Pittsburgh. Like Pittsburgh's a nostalgia place. Like everyone peaks in high school around this motherfucking place. I'm like, dude, like no, I'm trying to do a lot more. Like Rocky Long, me and Rocky always laugh about it. Motherfuckers talk about they retire as amateurs. That makes no sense. You can't retire as an amateur. Like this is a long run type of thing. So I see there's a lot of guys I see putting in a lot of work and stuff. But only time will tell. Like I've been around for a long time. Like, I've seen a lot of like if you come to my gym, you go to my wall and there's posters that go back 12 years and you look on my wall and there's 2 guys from this poster and the other 10 guys are gone. You go to another poster, there's 2 guys from this poster and the other 10 guys are gone. So this sport like weeds people out. It's like, what I mean? Like it's like it's so like there's a lot and that's the hard part. Like I don't like to like the whole prospect thing. Like I don't call and I never tell anyone, oh, you're a prospect. You ain't shit. Like you have no idea what's coming for you. I remember, I'll tell you a story. This is way back when John Diaz-Seuss kicked Cody Stevens in the head and knocked him out up in Ohio, right? And Cody Stevens was fighting for strong style and I think I was coming off. I just got knocked out, and I think John had just won 2 because he had lost before. I think he's on 2-fight win streak. And this kid I think his name was Kenny Loco or Loso or some shit like that. And he was mad because John won. So like we all down. It was me, John, my little brother, and Chris. I mean, we almost got into a fucking fight. We're in Ohio, and they're all talking shit. And John kicked this dude in the fuck. It was a brutal fucking fight. If you've never seen that fight, go look it up. It was the most brutal head kick, and then he just beat. It was brutal. Cody Stevens, cool dude though. So, but the kid was like, yeah, I think he was 2-0. And he was talking all this shit. He was like, you guys lose. You're coming off a loss. All we do is win. I remember I looked at him. I said, you have no idea what you're in for. And he was just talking all this shit and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, I think he lost his next fight. And then he won. And he lost 2 more fights. And he retired. But I respect him because he hit me up and he messaged me. And he was like, I had no idea. He goes, you're completely right. I'm sorry for, like, approaching you guys that way, because he goes, I have no idea how hard this shit is. And I was like, and that's the thing, you just don't know until you get there and you're drowning in the water and you're like, oh my fucking God, there's just constant levels to this. And that's why I tell my students, like, don't get caught up in this Pittsburgh amateur belt chasing shit. Like, oh my God, like, you know how many guys had amateur belts when I started fighting at 85? The only person that had 85 belts like that actually did something was Mark Jericho. There was all these other guys. Joe Wagner. Joe Wagner was a dude that fought. He fought Justin Steve. Joe Wagner had 37 belts as an amateur. I was like, oh, then he had like 3 pro fights and he fucking stopped. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is this about? Like, so I mean, this sport is not for front runners. This is a sport for thoroughbreds. I always tell people, I'm fucking Seabiscuit. I'm a thoroughbred. I'm here for the long run. And if you don't approach it with that type of mentality, like, you're going to, this sport will leave a disgusting taste in your mouth.
Dude, you put it a hilarious way at the gym when we were there, and it was like, it was half a joke, but also serious. You're like, dude, I know more guys that started MMA and are dead now than made it to the UFC. Like, you literally have a better chance of dying.
It's fucked up. Like, it's like, I mean, like, the serious thing is, it's like, and not even just make it to the UFC. That's not the point that I'm telling. Like, I like to tell my students, don't make that the point of contact, because then once you make it to the UFC, your goals are set. The thing is to be a constant martial artist. Like, if you're like, okay, so look at Dempsey. Dempsey made it to the UFC, got out of the UFC, but he's all like, when I first got to the UFC, Dempsey was training with me more than anyone, and he wasn't even fucking fighting. I was the reason he took another fight. I was like, you should take another fucking fight, because all he was doing was just training, and he's a constant martial artist. I mean, so like, you like just constantly doing this. Like, I think a lot of people like get it twisted on like what it takes to do this type of stuff. I'm like, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to continually keep doing this type of stuff, man. Like, and it wears on you. So like, you shouldn't do it for the money. Don't be fucking doing it because you want to sell T-shirts, or like when I started off, there was no Instagram. Like think about it now. How hard is it for you guys to match up amateur fucking fighters? Because people be looking at their Instagram and shit, like, oh no, I want to fucking fight that guy. Dude, none of my coaches would tell me you're fighting this person. I used to show the fuck up and fight.
Yeah, I'm not gonna name.
I didn't do the record. I would just show up. I'm like, oh shit, he's a southpaw. Oh shit, he likes to wrestle. Oh shit, he got one. I ain't fucking know that. Show up. I just show up. But nowadays, like, social media has made it, everyone's getting like their tattoos and this goofy shit. I'm like, fucking train. Like what are you doing? Like, why are you looking for sponsors or doing some goofy shit? You have 4 amateur fights or 2 amateur fights, or you're calling out pro fighters or some dumb shit like that. Like, it's almost embarrassing. I'm like, dude, like, you're dumb. Like, you'll literally be fat and working at some warehouse in 4 months, because like, this isn't going to be real. Like, you can't even grasp what it is and what it takes to do this. Like, did you ever see the video of Cam Newton when he went to like that high school, and it was when he had just got cut from one of his NFL teams, and he was at a high school, and he was like talking to the kids, and like the one boy was like making fun of him, like, you got cut and shit. And I'm sitting like, that's the ignorant shit that they would say. And he was sitting like, dude, like I'm a million. Like, what are you talking about? I'm in the NFL. And they're like, yeah, that's why you're looking for a team, bum ass. Like, and that kid will probably be working at McDonald's for the rest of his fucking life with that type of mentality and type of attitude that he have. And meanwhile, his name to claim was talking shit to fucking Cam Newton. Like, you idiot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? But that's the shit. Like, you got one of my students came in and told me the other day that there's this amateur kid who was like, yeah, he thinks he's better than you. I'm just like, that's what the but like, you know, I just whatever, man. It is what it is. I just let time weed them out in life. That's just the way it is.
I got it. I got the video right here. Here, I can share my screen. Hang on, because this one's a classic.
That's embarrassing.
You're a free agent. You're a free agent. You about to be pulled. I'm rich. You about to be pulled. I'm rich. You about to be pulled. I'm rich. You're a free agent. I'm rich. I'm a free agent. I'm rich. He's a free agent. Where your daddy at? Let me talk to your dad. Let me talk to your dad. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. Where's your dad? You're a free agent.
Unreal. Yeah.
That's just a different mentality. That's a different world to be living. Like that's how they mentally approach it. And then I'm like, that kid's an idiot. Like, who is that kid? Like, who knows who the fuck that kid is? Like, you know what I mean? But in his brain, he thought it was smart to talk to Cam Newton that way. Like, in fighting things, thinking, I bet you. I'm like, dude, yeah, maybe you you can take me down. Maybe you're a wrestler. You think you can take me down? I'm like, dude, but if you met me, I'd probably kill you. And like, or make you be eating through your straw for the rest of your fucking life. Like, let's rephrase how you think. But it is what it is, you know. I like to let people find out what fire is the hard way, like a caveman. Start playing with it, then they burn the whole village down and shit.
That's beautiful.
That kid is the dude from the Cam Newton video. Just so you know, that's who he is. Like. You said, who is that dude? Like, he's the dude from the Cam Newton video.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he's going to be, yeah.
He's that guy. Well, you talk to Cam Newton. He goes, yeah, you pitch your groceries into the back.
he's like, I made it. I'm the dude from the Cam Newton video.
Viral for like a month. I was talking shit on Cam Newton. Like,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. The funniest part is that I saw that video when it came out. I knew what you were talking about, but I've totally forgotten about it until you mentioned it. Like it's funny for like 3 hours, and then I forgot about it.
Exactly, but that's just the problem with, I think, the younger. I mean, unfortunately, MMA promotes that. I mean, like, you know, that's the stuff that sells. I mean, who was that guy that was talking shit on Bo Nichols?
Oh, David Krause on our story? Yeah.
Dude, I mean, do you know who fucking Bo Nichols is? Like, do you know what he had to accomplish to get to where he's at? And he's like, yeah, Bo Nichols. I'm watching the video like, okay, like you're 1-1. It'd be different if he was like 9-0 as an amateur. He's like, yeah, Bo Nichols, you know, I mean, I was a Golden Glove champion or something. No, you're just some big fucking dude hitting the fucking heavy bag. Like what the fuck? Like, come on. Like, I can't. I can't. But like, you know, like that's the shit that people like to do. They want to make promo videos, and everyone's a pro wrestler now until you're getting your dick hole beat in. Like what the fuck? Like, I'm like, that's stupid.
See, that's where you and I differ a little. I thought like Krause was just having fun, and he was literally not doing it seriously. He was doing it to like just, you know, have a good time. And I appreciate that.
I mean, yeah, it's entertaining. I see what you're saying for sure, Khama. Like it is cheesy whenever the wrong guy does it. Even at the highest level, it's cheesy when the wrong guy does it. Like when you got some debutant in the UFC calling out the champ, it's like, dude, you've got so much work to do. Like, yeah.
Now it's different. Okay, it's different if you're like the guy that's fighting just fighting Strickland next. That guy's a world-class kickboxer who knocked out the champ, so he can talk shit. If you're like an Olympic-level wrestler, or you're an Olympic-level wrestler, and you're coming into MMA, you can talk shit because you're a champion somewhere else. If you were a Bellator champion or a champ somewhere else, and like you're talking like, okay, well, this guy's a pro boxer and stuff. But when you're just
when you have two, do you know how many people have two amateur fights in America? like, come on, and you're not just 2-0, you're 1-1. I can't. Like, you shouldn't even think about making videos about anyone. You should just be training. You shouldn't be thinking about getting tattoos. You shouldn't be thinking about sponsors. You shouldn't be thinking about making t-shirts. You should only be training and working just enough so you can pay for training and then more training. You shouldn't be thinking about females. You shouldn't be watching TV shows. You shouldn't be doing shit but training. Like, but everyone's doing so much shit and they're talking on social media and they're going on. Like, these are the people that go on the UFC blog like, yeah, that guy was a bum anyway. He deserves to get, like, shut the fuck up! Like, it irritates me, and as I cut weight.
Khama, what advice would you give to, it's a huge struggle. Like, you're an amateur fighter, you're trying to find time.
Shut the fuck up and train. No, not you, Bill. Shut the fuck up and train. Train.
No,
just train. But don't make videos. None of that shit.
As far as the struggle with, like, just making a living and balancing, like, training and taking training seriously and, like, making a living, like, what would your advice be to the young guys that really truly want to pursue this thing and go hardcore? You were able to do it. You were able to get to the highest level. Like, what would your advice be?
Get a job. My job, the job that I worked at Steak and Shake for 10 years, and I would wait tables from 11 to 5, and I would train from 5 to 9. I did that straight for 3 years. I never missed a day of training for 3 years. You can call my original coach, Eric Hilbert. He had to send me home one day when there's a big storm. He goes, go look home. He's like, I did not miss a day for training, and I wasn't thinking about fighting. I would just train and listen. But I guess maybe I'm kind of an old head because I don't think, like, kids are so, like, you have cell phones now. They have so much accessibility to so much stuff, so they just think it's so much. It's different, they perceive it differently, you know what I mean? But it's not. Just train, literally train. Put yourself in uncomfortable position. And in Pittsburgh, like, motherfuckers gotta, like, train for real. Like, I mean, I get it. Pittsburgh is a wrestling base. The tri-state area is a wrestling base. Our cages are 20 foot small, 20 foot big, like a 20-foot cage. It's tiny. It's like it's based towards grappling and wrestling. Because we're the fucking tri-state area. It's Pennsylvania versus the rest of the world when it comes to wrestling. Like, you can go into any gym around here and find 2 or 3 D1 wrestlers grappling, at least multiple black belts, but you couldn't find a pro kickboxer anywhere in Pittsburgh. Like, there's not one I can't find a pro kickboxer. As for pro MMA fighters, they can actually, there's one, John DeSuze just left. So it was John DeSuze and Nick Brown, like, my level, like, pro fighters, like, you know what I mean? Like, so in Pittsburgh, like, it's as for young fighters, I'm like, go to boxing schools, get your shit beat in. A lot, because if you're not challenging yourself like that, you're just like building your fight style up for what's going on around here in Pittsburgh, and we're such a like small little nothing town compared to the rest of the fight environment. I mean, like, if all you can do is what we do here in Pittsburgh, you're gonna be in for a rude awakening, like a violent rude awakening. Like if you don't go to boxing gyms, if you don't go to kickboxing gyms, like if you don't just box, if you don't just kickbox, if everything you do is always involving some form of grappling, you're going to be in for a rude fucking awakening. Luckily for me, it happened a long time ago when I went to Rufus Sport when I was like 6 pro fights, and I could just, cause that's a striking gym. I went there, like, Anthony Pettis was the champ at the time, and like, I was worked with some of their amateurs, and like, they were just as good at striking as I was. And these guys were fucking amateur fighters. And I was like, holy shit. Like, there was just a different level of striking was there. Cause it's just a lot more. There's a lot more kickboxing, a lot more boxing and stuff. So, I mean, for Pittsburgh, if you're going to be a Pittsburgh fighter, go to boxing gyms. I know it's not easy because Pittsburgh boxers don't want to box MMA guys. whatever the fuck that's about. Like, it's weird. Like, I have to go all the way to Ohio. Like, I go train with my man Danny and St. Clair, in Ohio, West, like right next to West Virginia and shit. But my man Hutch, Hutch trained under my coach Chris. So he's worked with us and stuff, and we've gone out and worked with Conway a little bit and stuff. I'm like, you got to get out. And I mean, find kickboxing gyms. Like, get beat up. Like, I go. You think I enjoy wrestling with a D1 wrestler? Like, Cardillo was in training last week, slamming the shit out. Like, Jason Cardillo's a D1 wrestler. He's 7-0 as a pro fighter and shit. So he doesn't really fight anymore, but he's still a D1 fucking wrestler. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not fun getting slammed on the ground by a D1 wrestler. So that's not a fun thing. So, but I put myself in those positions, like factory or all like, but if you're not putting yourself to get punched in your face, when it happens, that shit's gonna hurt. And you're gonna, like, the first time you draw blood is in a fight. That's not a good feeling, dude. Your brain's gonna be like, where the fuck am I? You're gonna be looking for the exit instantly, dude. And you can't, if you're not, I'm like, guys, I'm like, do you guys watch fights? Like, do you see, like, yo, I on J-Check with that fucking unicorn on her head? If you're not ready for that shit, don't fucking waste my fucking time and don't waste your time, because that's what it is. I preach this all the time. I tell my students, we are in the legalized crime game. We're in the pain business, and fucking business is booming. Like, you have to understand that. Like, you watch all the fights this past weekend. You watch good guys get fucking murdered, girls getting lit up. We're in the pain business. Like, you have to understand that. If you're not okay, like, inflicting and receiving pain, the minute that shit starts to happen, you're gonna look for the exit, and the exit's always somewhere up on there. It's gonna show itself eventually. Like my guys will sometimes be like, oh, well, what do you think about head trauma? I'm like, I don't think about head trauma, because if I thought about head trauma, there's no way I'd do this. I'd go get a regular job and go be an accountant or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you want to play football. Have you ever thought about the dangers of tearing your ACL or CT? No, because I want to play professional football. I don't think about that shit, because like it's probably going to fucking happen. Like, you know, if you play a professional sport, like, and especially our sport, you're going to get hurt. Like, I felt really bad with Craig, because I always told Craig, like, you're not going to get hurt. And then the motherfucker tears his thing and dangles his arm off. I'm like, wow, welcome to fighting, dude. I was like, I'm sorry, but that's the fight game, dude. It happens. Like, this is not it's just not a fucking walk in the park. We're not playing chess. This is a extremely dangerous, organized crime type shit. It's a legal way to hurt another human being. Like, that's what we're doing. If you don't think of it that way, you're going to get hurt, or you're going to find yourself in a fight in a situation where you look for the exit all the time.
Khama, have you ever been in a situation where, you had to use your skill set in a way that was not in a octagon or a training situation?
No, I don't like to fight. I've only been in one street fight my entire life. I don't fight in the street. My mother told me this story about this guy that she knew when she was younger that punched somebody. He fell and hit his head off a fire hydrant, and the guy died and he went to jail. So I don't fight in the street. When I was in New York, this bum was fucking on the bus, and he was doing this goofy stuff, and he spilled this water. I got up and I punched him. The bus driver hit the brakes. This lady flew, busted her head. People was all jacked up. I got off and ran off the train. I was like, that's what I get. You don't fight in public. So I don't fight in public. Like, it's not working.
Nice. So there's some advice from Khama. Khama also said, for the young fighters out there, don't, like, no women, no TV, no nothing. But I got to show this comment from your brother, Khama. Like, he's got an alternative viewpoint.
Oh, fuck that. How I got that. Okay, so Shaka's a different. Me and Shaka approach fighting. Even though we're brothers, we approach fighting very. Shaka probably has had 100 street fights. Like Shaka, I used to go to the park, and Shaka would be down there beating people up. And remember when The Rock was really bad? He would spit on his hand and like smack these like that. And I was like, I don't like fighting. He's different. Like, I enjoy fighting in the cage, but he enjoys fighting a little bit different. Shaka's a little bit different breed.
That's fair enough. That's what makes you guys different, man. That's hilarious. When The Rock was big, he would like spit on his hand and hit people.
You can I swear you can ask Shaka spit on his hand and smack this kid. I was like, oh my god, like he's enjoying this. He liked it. Like if you would have met me when I was younger, when I was like 17, 18, and then you would have told me, oh, in 12 years you'll be in the UFC. I was like, you're out of your fucking mind. Because I don't like the fight. I don't like the fight. So but it just fell into place.
Yeah, and you said like the goal is really to be a lifelong martial artist. Like you mentioned Chris Dempsey, obviously he's still doing the thing every day, training every day. But at this stage in your career, man, like you have been in the UFC, you felt that, you fought for us last time, fighting for us again in April. Where are you looking to go after that? I mean, you can't if you win big again, realistically, you're probably not staying around Pittsburgh again. Like, where are your career goals right now?
Wherever the money is. Like I'm at the point now, like I said, after my last fight, my manager was like, just stay busy. So I mean, like I'm getting towards the point where I don't think I can keep this up for the next 8 years or some shit, like I'm not like my man this weekend or this fight yesterday is Zolik. My man, he's fucking 45. He's cool as shit because me and Dave met him at the Performance Institute. And my man moves like a 40-something-year-old. Like we were walking up the steps, it was taking him a minute. I ran up and down the steps twice. He was just getting up the steps. But he's a lifelong martial artist. Like that's what he likes to do. Like he obviously doesn't fight. I mean, I can't really say it to his financial situation, but I don't think he fights for money. He just fights because he likes competition. Like that's just his thing. Like that's his tick. Like that's golf for him. You know what I mean?
Or when you're done with MMA, do you think like you're going to compete in any other capacity, or do you think when you call it quits with MMA, you won't compete?
I want to do a little bit of kickboxing, and I want to do a little bit of boxing, and then I'll probably just coach. Kickboxing, boxing, coach. Like I was thinking about maybe doing some jiu-jitsu tournaments, but I don't know. I can't even do jiu-jitsu tournaments now. I just can't. Like my boys are always like, do a jiu-jitsu tournament. I'm like, I just can't. I just want to hit people. So if I'm competing in it, I have to involve hitting someone at some point in time. Even though my coach wants me to get me into like bodybuilding, because he goes, if you really got into bodybuilding, you can like probably do a kick. I can like really define my body. I was like, we really blew you up and defined your body. So. I mean,
go from model. I mean, you got the modeling background. Bodybuilding is just like jacked modeling.
Yeah, like Mark Jericho kind of does that now because like with his injury, he can't train, and that's the sucky part. Like I know he really wants to train. Like we'll talk every now and then. He like gets the itch, but he knows like he'll mess his neck up and he can't feel his freaking fingers from it. So like every time he tries to do anything, but so he got into lifting weights, but he had to pull back a little bit on that too as well, just because of like his injury and stuff. So I mean, like I definitely don't take what I have for granted now, because like it's hard to do this shit. Let's say Khama and I'm looking for a sleep up in these main event fights next Saturday. That's Ethan Goss. Yeah, damn straight. I mean, there's people like Ethan. Ethan's been around forever. Like this is not a sprint. This is far from a sprint, dude. This is a long, exhausting marathon.
So Ronald McDonald, I'm fairly certain that there's a chance that's not his name. He said, this dude is funny. Will you ask him if he wins and feels good after the fights on Saturday? Will he do a meet and greet? My brother and I would love to meet him. So just so you know, after every fight, stick around. Khama's gonna give you like a huge discount, and only charge $5 this time. Normally he charges everyone like $75. But no, he spends tons of time walking around and just hamming it up with the fans. So he loves loves it. So that's like every show you'll see pictures of him, with fans and stuff like that. So yeah, just hang tight, wait for Khama to go, but wait for the show to start wrapping up. Just hang tight and he'll be out.
Yeah. See, I heard that Khama spits in his hand and slaps fans.
Well, that's what he loves.
Oh man.
No, man, that's awesome, dude. Khama, this has been an amazing podcast, man. We appreciate you jumping on. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I'm sure there's some Butterfingers to go crush out there, but we gotta do the cliche because
Butterfingers. I wish.
Yeah.
I think when I eat some, I think I have hummus. I think like hummus on some salmon or something like that. I don't know, something real, or like some quinoa or something like that.
That doesn't sound bad, dude. Actually, I was gonna like close the show, but now I remembered that I wanted to ask you because are you vegan or vegetarian? You're vegan, right?
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian. Okay.
I love leather and shit. Like my car, my new BMW's leather and shit. I love leather jackets and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Get away from it. Need that leather. That's perfect. How do you pronounce the like fake meat substitute that looks like Satan? Is it seitan? How do you say that?
What is it?
You know what I'm talking? It's like a meat substitute. It's like Seitan. Seitan? Seitan? I guess you don't know. You never saw it.
No. I just grabbed it.
We saw it
to the fake meat section. I actually have some stuff I'm gonna like some fake meat stuff, whatever. I'll probably like put together on top of some rice to get a little protein or whatever.
Nice. That's a good call, man. Well, dude, we can't keep you too much longer. Obviously, you're a busy man, cutting weight, got a fight to get ready for. It was one of the best podcasts to date, if not the best. I think there's going to be a lot of laughs to be had from this one, man. We appreciate you jumping on, man. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you Friday for weigh-ins.
Yeah,
it's about that time.
Yes. I'll see you guys then. You guys drink a beer.
Yeah, brother.
I'll have one for you, bro.
I know you.
All right. So that was Khama Worthy. He fights Kaheem Murray in the main event, Brawl in the Berg 11, April 16th, this coming Saturday at the Monroeville Convention Center. You guys can get tickets at 247fighting.com. This is Ryan and I are at Streets on Carson right now in the South Side. They were gracious enough to let us do our podcast here. And even if they weren't, I would still recommend that you come eat here. Like the food at Streets on Carson, if you guys haven't experienced it yet, freaking incredible. We'll have a full review for you coming this week, but just listen, I like food. It's very apparent. You know, I'm a rather large guy. I like food. Take my word for it. Streets on Carson does it right. There's no bad item on their menu. Some of the best wings in the city, if not the best wings in the city. If you think I'm lying, come check them out.
Yeah, it definitely. My family and I have come here a couple times, and we've never had anything that we weren't like raving about. So, super great meal. We tried some new things. I tried their chicken sandwich, which was bomb, which we'll get into. Like, it's right up there. We just had, you know, you guys, if you follow us, you saw our posts about what's the name of it? Given to Fly.
There it is. Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, man, the chicken sandwich game in the city has been pumped up by these couple establishments. So they're going to go toe to toe with this chicken sandwich, and they're friends, so they like each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And Troy, actually, the owner of Given to Fly, might stop down here, he said, in a bit, actually. So that would be great if we get to see him before we head out too. But thank you, everybody who tuned in and watched. I know you guys really enjoyed Khama, just based on the comments and everything. How can you not? The dude is in surprisingly good spirits for being in the middle of a weight cut, I got to say. So I would assume the weight cut's going well. He's looking ready, looking lean and mean for Saturday, man. That's going to be an insane fight. And like Ethan Goss chimed in on the chat, you cannot forget that he fights Kevin Barberina for the pro featherweight title, 247 FC pro featherweight title. Ethan, as Khama said, has been doing it forever. This guy's been around the fight game forever, paid his dues. The whole theme of Khama's talk, was about being a thoroughbred, being in this for the long run, sacrificing everything to get there. And Ethan is 100% one of those guys that paid his dues. And that fight, that's a fight of the night waiting to happen. We said it from the jump. 100% Ethan Goss versus Kevin Barberina. You cannot miss that fight. The whole card is stacked. We hope to see all of your beautiful faces there Saturday.
Get your tickets, folks. This is it's going to be something special this Saturday night, April 16th. A pro card that just, Justin Patton's fighting. Like, I'm going to talk about the local guys because you know them all. Jake Schilling's fighting. Ethan Goss has fought for us, I don't know, 5-6 times. Like, always brings it, always great. We're going to have a free fight tomorrow posted. So you'll want to catch that. I think we're going to do one of the best fights we've ever had, which was Ethan Goss and Skylar Sudo. To kind of get everyone ramped up and ready for this event on Saturday. So stay tuned, pay attention. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff going on this week. But get your tickets, first and foremost, 247fighting.com. Go visit with your favorite fighter. Khama has tickets at the Academy. Justin has tickets at the Mat Factory. Grab those tickets, scoop them up before they're gone.
Absolutely. And Ryan kind of said it, but I just want to further emphasize that we're going to release a free fight on social media every day this week. So normally, all of our videos are video on demand. Got to pay to watch the replays. We'll release them for free for you. We'll have Goss, we'll have Khama, we'll have Justin Patton. A lot of the guys that are on this card will release some of their past fights for you guys for free. So follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere, Twitter. Follow us and enjoy some free fights to get excited for Saturday, man. It's almost here. Weigh-ins will be here before you know it. We'll have pictures from weigh-ins and everything. Then it's fight night. Go to 247fighting.com and get those tickets, guys. We're going to have some fun, and we'll see you all there. Let's go.
And
wait.
Ron McDonald.
I'm
gonna do that. He says he needs a shout out to his nephew Andrew. All right, so Andrew, hey, how you doing, buddy? Train, say your prayers, eat your vitamins. 80s Hulk Hogan style, bro. And Paul Dotson's fight. Shout out to my nephew. I'm confused about that. Shout out to
his nephew must be Andrew Evans fighting Paul Dotson. This must be Andrew Evans.
Andrew Evans. Oh, so his nephew's Andrew. Yeah, that's totally different. Oh, so you want us to talk about that fight? Yeah. So we have lots of fights. Here's the thing: when we got guys that have paved the path, and like the pro fights, we're going to spend a lot more time kind of talking about those, and we're going to give the platform for the amateurs. So we have 6 great amateur bouts, and we'll dig a little into that on the blog this week. So check out the blog on the website at 247fighting.com. We'll be writing about all that good stuff.
There, I just went ahead and pulled up the fight poster. Paul Dotson versus Andrew Evans. This is Andrew's MMA debut. This is Paul's second fight. He actually lost his debut back in August in Johnstown, and he recently switched and is training at the academy now with Khama. So Paul feels like that's done wonders for his game. Andrew, meanwhile, is just looking to make an absolute splash, and I love debuting fighters, man. Ryan and I talk about this all the time off air. Like, I get just as excited for the amateur fights because that next gem might be there. And plus, you got to think your first fight, they're dealing with the jitters. They're dealing with everything that there is that goes into fighting. So for them to get that first bit of experience with us is special, and we definitely don't take that lightly. We want them to have the best first experience ever with their fight. So I certainly hope Andrew experiences that, win or lose, man, because this is, like Khama said, it's not all about winning and losing at that stage.
Most important thing when you're an amateur fighter is when you win, you got to call out like the biggest name you possibly can. Like if you're an amateur fighter and you win, you have to call out like pro fighters that are like, have been around and paved the path. I'm all for it.
100%. That fight's at 185. So if he doesn't call out at least Bo Nickel, he's doing it wrong.
Exactly. You got to call out Bo Nickel. You got to call out Bo Nickel's uncle. You got to call out whatever it takes, right?
Bo Nickel, Bo Dime, Bo Quarter. All right, I'm done. That joke ended the podcast. We're out. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you very soon. It's fight week, guys. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. Let's go.
Fight week.